Hi everyone, it's me, Marcella. On the last video, we have discussed about news item. So today we will learn with new material about narrative text. In this video, as usual, we will discuss about the definition, kinds of narrative text, purpose, generic structure, example, and so on. So after this, let's check out the material. So please prepare yourself and happy studying.
All of you must have heard or read the stories like legends or fairy tales such as Malin Kundang, Timun Mas, Mouse Deer and Crocodile, or maybe Snow White, The Ugly Duck, Pinocchio, and so on. The story is a form of narrative text, which we will discuss this time. So let's check it out. What we will discuss? Today we will discuss about the definition, the purpose, generic structures, language features, kinds of narrative text, example, and of course, exercise. The first is, what is a narrative text? Narrative text is a story with complication or problematic events, and it tries to find the resolutions to solve the problems. So the text tells a chronologically connected series of events. Usually, the story is imaginative or just a story written by the creator with the aim of entertaining the readers. Next, the purpose of narrative text. The purpose of narrative text is to amuse or to entertain the readers with a story. The next is generic structures. Generic structures of narrative text are several stages that are usually used in making a story of narrative text. The first is orientation. In this section is a section for introduction. The introduction of the story, like what is the story about, who is the characters of the story, where is the setting place, and when is the time setting. The second is complication. This part is the part that raises a problem or conflict that occur in an English narrative text story. Complication is also the most important or the main point of a narrative text story. The conflicts that occur in the story are like physical conflict, natural conflicts, social and psychological conflict. And then the third is resolution. This part is a solution to a conflict or problem in the story. Every problem that arises in narrative text must have a solution. The solution can be in the form of a happy ending, or it can also be a sad or tragic ending. Last, reorientation. This part is a statement to conclude a story. The statements is such a moral lessons, advice or valuable lesson from the story. Next is language feature. The sentence pattern used is usually a simple past tense. Then, the beginning of a sentence usually begins with adverb of time such as long time ago, one day, once upon a time, a long time ago, and so on. And then use many times of conjunctions or connective. And then using adjective that's showing description. And sometimes there is direct dialogue between the characters in the story. The next is kinds of narrative text. The first is a myth, a traditional story accepted as history serves to explain the world view of people. A story of great but unknown age which originally embodied or belief regarding some fact or phenomenon of experience, and in which often the forces of nature and of the soul are personified. An ancient legend of a god, a hero, the origin of a race, and etc. A wonder story of prehistoric origin, a popular fable which is or has been received as historical. The example of myth are the myth of Malin Kundang. Next is legends. Legend also stories that have been made, but they are different from the myth. Myth reply questions about the workings of nature and is set in the time long ago, before written history. Legend of the people and the action of deeds. People are living in more recent and is mentioned in history. Story submitted for the purpose and is based on the fact, but they do not really exist. Example, story of Lake Toba. Next is fables. Fables are about animals that can talk and act like a person, or a plant, or forces of nature such as lightning or wind. Plants may be able to move and speak, and natural forces cause things to happen in the story because of their strength. The example, the wolf and the dog, the house dog. Next is fairy tales. Fairy tales are stories written specifically for children, often about magical characters such as elves, fairies, goblins, and ogres. Sometimes animal characters. The example, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is an example of part of the generic structures. You can see the part of the story like the orientation, complication, resolution until here. I choose the story fables, the wolf and the stork. And for example, I choose the legend. You must be quite familiar with this story. I choose a legend of Candi Prambanan. And also a crying stone. And then the last for the exercise. You can read the text on the screen and try to answer the questions. Want to practice more? If you want to practice more on these topics, I have prepared more exercise which you can get on Google Form. I'll put the link in the description box.
So that's all about the material. I hope you understand and enjoy to study with me. Thank you for watching this video. Please stay healthy and don't forget to wash your hands. Have a nice day and see you!